What if everything you thought you knew about the Gosselin family was a lie? Imagine a child choosing their father over their mother, not out of rebellion, but out of sheer desperation. What really happened behind closed doors that drove Hannah Gosselin to make a decision that would shock the world? After years of silence, she's finally ready to speak out. The truth, it's more twisted, heartbreaking, and dramatic than anyone could have ever expected. Trust me, you won't believe what she's revealing next. Stay tuned because what's coming will change the way you see the Gosselin family forever. Hannah Gosselin, one of the sextuplets, is now breaking her silence after years of holding back. After being separated from her siblings following her parents' high-profile divorce, she's opening up in a way that's stirring up long-held questions about what truly happened behind the scenes. Revelations are explosive and make us question everything we thought we knew about the Gosselin family. This isn't just a tale of broken marriages, it's about a complicated family dynamic that the world never fully understood. So, what is Hannah saying? Why does it change the way we view her and her family? Growing up in the spotlight was never Hannah's choice. It was, however, an unavoidable part of her reality. From the moment she was born, she was thrust into a world of television cameras and public expectations. As part of the sextuplets on the show, she became an icon of sorts, part of the captivating family that seemed to have it all: millions of viewers, a reality show, and the luxury of fame. But for Hannah and her siblings, their lives were anything but ordinary. The cameras didn't stop rolling, and the crew was always there. It wasn't just a TV show, it was their lives, their childhoods, laid bare for the world to watch. What viewers didn't see were the moments of tension, the private struggles, and the deep sense of discomfort that came with growing up in a fishbowl. Every moment of joy, every sibling fight, every tantrum, and every embarrassing moment was broadcast to millions. What was supposed to be a time of growth and personal exploration for a child became a carefully crafted spectacle. Lack of privacy was stifling, and for Hannah, it started to feel suffocating. As she grew older, she wasn't just playing a part on television, she was living it every single day. As the years passed, cracks began to form in the family's once flawless image. What was once a seemingly loving partnership between Jon and Kate spiraled into a bitter public divorce. Gone were the days of fun family outings and tight-knit moments. Instead, the Gosselin household became a battleground, and the kids were caught in the middle of it all. The public fallout between Jon and Kate played out across the media, with both parents giving conflicting accounts of their life together. As the media continued to feast on their drama, it became clear that the family would never be the same. When the divorce was finalized in 2009, the effects were far-reaching. It wasn't just Jon and Kate that were torn apart, it was their entire family. The children, who had been used to seeing each other every day, now had to adjust to a new reality. Some of them stayed with their mother, while others found themselves spending more time with their father. The division was painful, and the separation was felt deeply within the family. For Hannah, the tension between her parents had grown so intense that she no longer felt at home in the environment that Kate had created. And when it came time to decide who to live with, Hannah made a choice that shocked the public. She decided to live with her father. This wasn't just a simple decision, it was a reflection of something deeper. Hannah had always been different from her siblings. From a young age, she seemed to push against the strict, regimented lifestyle that Kate enforced. Discomfort with her mother's rules was evident in many moments, especially on the show, resurfaced over the years, showing Hannah's visible discomfort when Kate was particularly harsh with her. Some viewers even speculated that she was being singled out, treated more harshly than the others. Yet, for years, Hannah stayed silent. She played the role expected of her, the obedient daughter who smiled for the cameras and followed the script. But as Hannah entered her teenage years, something began to shift. She spent more time with her father, Jon, and slowly, she began to realize that her past choices weren't the ones that truly aligned with who she was. In 2018, Hannah made a life-changing decision, a decision that, in hindsight, she wished she had made much earlier. She chose to live with her father, marking a dramatic break from the past that she had been unable to escape for so long. This move wasn't just a physical separation, it was a symbolic break from a world that had never truly been hers to control. For the first time, Hannah began to take control of her own narrative, stopped living her life according to what was expected of her, and started living it for herself. And now, as she speaks out about her experiences, it's clear that her story isn't just one of struggle, it's one of reclaiming her voice. As Hannah reveals more about her past, it's impossible not to reflect on the broader picture. While the family's financial success is well known, their reality TV empire, the fame, the wealth, it's evident that the cost of living under such intense public scrutiny was far greater than anyone realized. Children's lives were more than just TV ratings, they were real lives marked by personal growth, emotional turmoil, and a need for privacy. Luxury cars, homes, and private jets may have been the outward signs of success, but the toll it took on their mental health was something far more expensive. His relationship with her father, Jon, grew stronger as she spent more time with him. She was the only child who appeared to resist her mother's control, and her bond with Jon was unlike the others. While many assumed it was just a close father-daughter relationship, this connection signaled something far deeper. In 2015, Jon publicly claimed that he hadn't seen all of his children together in years, suggesting that Kate was limiting his access. Yet, despite the tension between the parents, Hannah's attachment to her father only grew. By 2017, rumors began circulating that she wanted to live with Jon permanently, and so, in a dramatic turn of events, Jon filed for custody of Hannah, arguing that she had expressed a clear desire to leave Kate's home. This move shocked many fans, which believed that the Gosselin children would always remain under Kate's care, was proven incorrect. Hannah's decision wasn't impulsive, it was the culmination of years of emotional struggles. After all, choosing to leave her siblings and live with her father was no small decision. While Hannah remained silent about the specifics, her actions spoke louder than words. By 2018, after lengthy legal battles and hidden tensions, Hannah officially moved in with Jon full-time, a victory that was both personal and hard-earned. But why Hannah, and why now? Was it really Kate's parenting style that drove her away, or was there more to the story than the public had been led to believe? Hannah's relationship with her mother had always been complicated. While the bond between a mother and daughter is often thought to be unbreakable, for Hannah and Kate, it was fraught with tension. To the outside world, Kate was a strong, disciplined mother, managing the chaos of raising 8 kids. But for Hannah, that discipline often felt like control. In an interview, Hannah once said, "My mom is a lot," before stopping herself, leaving her words hanging in the air. What did she mean by a lot? Was it that Kate was too strict, too controlling, or perhaps emotionally distant? While Hannah never fully expanded on her feelings, that one line left the world wondering just how difficult life with Kate had really been. Throughout the run of Jon and Kate Plus 8, Kate's parenting style was often at the center of public scrutiny. Her demand for structure and routine was understandable, given the challenges of raising 8 children. But there were moments when her harsh approach seemed to single out Hannah. Some fans noted that Kate's discipline towards Hannah was noticeably tougher than her treatment of the other children. Was this just tough love, or was there something deeper at play? This is a question that might never have a definitive answer. Over the years, former crew members, and even Jon himself, have suggested that life behind the cameras was far stricter than what viewers saw on television. Jon has indicated that Kate's parenting went beyond being strict, it was controlling. In his view, Hannah struggled the most with this control and yearned for the freedom to be her own person. But why was it Hannah, along with her brother Colin, who ultimately chose to leave? Some speculate that Hannah's strong-willed nature, which was similar to Kate's, caused constant clashes between the two. Others believe that Hannah simply wanted the freedom that she couldn't have under her mother's roof. Whatever the case, it's clear that her decision wasn't made lightly. Hannah's decision to move in with her father, Jon, was more than just a shift in living arrangements, it was a powerful public statement. By choosing Jon over Kate, Hannah did something that no other Gosselin child had done before. This dramatic move may have strained her relationship with not only her mother but also her siblings. It's difficult to imagine how it must have felt to break away from the family dynamic they all once shared. While the decision brought tension, at the end of the day, they were still siblings, and nothing, not even their parents' conflicts, could change that bond. In private conversations, Hannah and her siblings often wished they could have the courage to join their father, just as Colin had. Despite the strain, Hannah never publicly spoke ill of Kate. Even in interviews where she could have shared more, she remained diplomatic, choosing instead to only hint at the challenges she faced. Perhaps there's still a level of respect for her mother, or maybe Hannah simply chooses to keep certain details private. One thing is certain, the relationship with Kate has never been straightforward. As Hannah begins to speak up, the world may finally understand what happened behind closed doors. Life with Jon presented Hannah with a different perspective. After moving in with him, she began to feel a sense of normalcy she had never experienced before. She described her time with Jon as normal and free, words that stood in stark contrast to her time under Kate's strict rule. There was no longer a constant pressure to conform, no rigid schedules, and no expectation to live up to the public image of perfection. Hannah felt like she was living a life that wasn't dictated by the relentless demands of the media and her mother's discipline. The first few days with Jon weren't just about weekend visits anymore, they were about a completely different kind of family life. For the first time, she wasn't just one of 8 children under constant supervision, she was simply Hannah, living a life she could enjoy without the constant stress of being under a magnifying glass. Jon, for his part, was supportive of Hannah's decision. He described their relationship as close and unbreakable and made it clear that he trusted her to make her own choices. Unlike Kate's household, where rules were non-negotiable, Jon allowed Hannah the freedom to express herself. It was a different environment entirely, one that many believed she longed for after years of living under the scrutiny of public life. But this left many wondering, did Jon encourage Hannah's decision to leave? Was he the driving force behind it? According to Hannah, the decision was entirely hers. She felt happier and more comfortable with her dad, and when she finally asked him if she could move in full-time, Jon was overjoyed. It wasn't a decision influenced by anyone but herself. Since then, Hannah has kept her life relatively private. She shares occasional glimpses of her world on platforms like TikTok, but she hasn't gone into great detail about why she left Kate's home. It's possible that she's trying to protect her family, or perhaps waiting for the right moment to share her full story. One thing is clear, though, as she gets older, she's finding her voice. Recently, she began reconnecting with her siblings, and it seems she's now ready to share her side of the story. "My mom was not the villain some people have made her out to be," Hannah said, offering a balanced perspective. But she was quick to add, she wasn't perfect either. No parent is. This statement was a turning point for Hannah, signaling that she's ready to speak out and share the untold story of life in the Gosselin household. According to Hannah, her strained relationship with Kate was largely due to the pressure of living in a highly controlled environment. Kate, she claims, wasn't just raising children, she was managing a brand. Everything had to look perfect, and every action, every moment, was scrutinized. "Mom would always remind us that we were representatives of the brand," Hannah said. It wasn't just about being kids, it was about maintaining the perfect image for the cameras, and for Hannah, that was incredibly difficult. The impact of this controlled environment was felt most strongly with her brother Colin. Hannah shared that Colin was often isolated from the rest of the family, including not being allowed to play with the other children or even eat meals with them, according to Hannah. Her mother even created a containment room for Colin where he would be locked up, justified this by claiming it was for their protection, saying she was shielding the children from Colin's troubled behavior. Hannah Gosselin's decision to move in with her father Jon wasn't just a change of address, it was a seismic shift in her relationship with her mother Kate and the entire dynamic of the Gosselin family. This choice set off a cascade of emotional and familial consequences, some of which we may never fully understand. Despite these tensions, Hannah acknowledges that her mother did provide stability, particularly during the difficult moments. "My mom gave me gifts I'll carry throughout my life, her determination, her work ethic, and her resilience," she recently shared, reflecting on the complex relationship with her mom. It's a reminder that even in fractured relationships, there are lessons to be learned and qualities to be appreciated. Healing a relationship as strained as theirs, especially after years of public feuds, won't be an easy task. As Hannah continues to heal and work on rebuilding bridges, she knows it won't be a smooth road. The divisions in the Gosselin family didn't just appear overnight, and repairing them will take time and patience. The ongoing conflicts between Jon and Kate over the years created a toxic environment for their children, leaving the kids caught in the middle of their parents feuding for a long time. "It felt like we had to choose sides," Hannah said, speaking about the impossible position she found herself in. But the tension wasn't just between parents and children, it affected the sibling relationships as well. After Hannah and Colin moved in with Jon, the contact between them and the children who stayed with Kate became limited. Still, Hannah has made efforts to reconnect, especially with her siblings. She describes them as a part of her in a way no one else can understand. The bond they share is unbreakable despite the challenges they faced. In her recent interviews, Hannah emphasized that the healing process is far from linear. There have been attempts at reconciliation, but they haven't always gone smoothly. The past wounds, hurt, anger, and misunderstandings sometimes resurface, sending the family back to square one. "My mom was probably hurt when I chose Dad over her," Hannah admitted, "and I wasn't ready to hear her side of things either." Both needed time and space. Communication between them has fluctuated from complete estrangement to cautious text exchanges. Yet even those small gestures, like casual meetings with her siblings, have become important milestones in their journey toward understanding one another. Just recently, Hannah and her sister Leah went on a shopping spree, a small but significant step in rebuilding their connection outside the tense backdrop of family politics. They've learned to find neutral spaces where they can reconnect as siblings without the pressure of loyalty to either parent. But what's most striking about Hannah's story is her realization that healing doesn't happen overnight. Family therapy has played a role in addressing some of the deep-rooted wounds, but Hannah knows the process is far from simple. "You can't rush healing," she explained. "Everyone has to be ready in their own time." As time passes, Hannah remains hopeful that reconciliation is possible, though she acknowledges that a relationship with Kate may never return to what it once was. "Different people now," she said. "The goal isn't to go back to how things were, but to create something new that works for who we've become." Despite all the speculation, the full truth behind Hannah's decision to leave Kate's home may never be fully revealed. While she's offered insights into her experiences, she continues to respect her mother by choosing her words carefully. Some questions remain unanswered. If life was so difficult with Kate, why did Hannah never speak out before? And what about her siblings? Did they feel similarly but choose to stay with Kate, or do they see their mother differently than Hannah does? These unanswered questions will likely linger for years to come. But for now, Hannah seems at peace with her decision to focus on her life with Jon and leave the past behind. Now at 20, Hannah has the freedom to shape her own future, free from the public scrutiny that once defined her life. She's no longer a pawn in the custody battles of her parents or confined by their public personas. What's next for her? While she's kept much of her personal life private, occasionally offering glimpses on TikTok, she hasn't fully opened up about her past or what lies ahead. Will she pursue a career, further her education, or even return to the entertainment industry? The possibilities are endless for her. One thing is clear, she is no longer just Jon and Kate Gosselin's daughter. She's carving out her own path, and her story is just beginning. But the Gosselin family saga is far from over. While Hannah has spoken out about her relationship with Kate, the world is still waiting to hear Kate's side of the story. Will she admit to being the strict, demanding mother many believe her to be? For now, all we can do is wait and wonder. What do you think of Hannah's revelations? Do any of her experiences resonate with your own family dynamics? Let us know in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next.